Hello friends and welcome to my YouTube channel Simply Stocks, and today I'm going to talk about Bajaj Finserve, a very good company. Let's understand when you should buy the stock and what are the valuations. So let's get started. First of all, a disclaimer that this is not a stock recommendation. People taking any position into any share that I talk about should do that with their own due diligence and research, and I'm not in favor or against any company that I talk about. Now let's talk about Bajaj Finserve. The company was formally established in 2007. It is focused on leading lending, asset management, and wealth management apart from credit cards and insurance. It is a part of the Bajaj Holdings Group, and its major focus is on providing easy loans and credit cards. Biggest brand in this space, and it has been 8x already in the last 5 years. So the stock was trading at around 1,000 1,200 5 years ago, and it has become huge up till now. If you look at the financials of the company, then these are Q2 numbers versus FY20 Q2 numbers, and it has been decent considering the kind of situation we have had with the pandemic. So the sales grew by around 5.5%, the profit dropped by around 18%. There was low finance cost for the business, the kind of business that it is into, return on equity of 27%, operating profit margin of 24%. The promoter is extremely strong and promoter holding is good. uh, Basically the numbers are bad on the bottom line because of the pandemic, and the reason that people are not buying a lot of stuff or going into buying into credit cards or cards from the Bajaj Finserv group. They're not into a lot of shopping etc. for the last 6 8 months. I think numbers will set to improve going forward in FY22. So in that regard, that's why the stock fell earlier and then made a smart recovery. So I'll talk about technicals also later on. So why the euphoria with something like a Bajaj Finance or Finserv? Moat and leadership. It is the leading company in this space. See, this is basically not lending to farmers, not lending to, you can say, corporates or real estate or infrastructure. This is direct lending space into consumers. So consumers go ahead and buy and shop online, shop on products, accessories, goods, items, and they prefer credit cards or cards from Bajaj Finance and Finserv because of their easy, you can say, access, their you can say customer care, and the lending rates, etc. And they have become a big brand in this space over the last 5 6 years. Exceptional return ratios. The management is top class for the kind of business that they are doing. Not lending, not having a lot of NPAs, very less NPAs that the company currently have. The business has its longevity with the kind of leadership it is having, and the penetration level which is extremely less in India when you consider space of, you can say, cards and lending, and you can say more into, you can say, debt. Consumer debt is extremely less here in India, which is extremely good, and I prefer having people having no debt. But the trend is changing and changing very fast. Over the last decade it has changed, and I think it will continue to change. Still the penetration level is extremely less compared to the Western countries, so this trend will continue. I don't like it, but still this is how it is being happening. So longevity of business is always there. There's robustness of the kind of business that it is doing, and you have to understand that all quality stocks are selling at premium at the moment. You look at a DMart, you look at Bajaj Finance, Finserv, HDFC brand stocks, you look at other marquee leaders in their space like Nestle, TCS, etc. Even in the IT space, we look at the companies, even that sector has run up appreciably. So taking all that into consideration, it is not a surprise that the stock is trading at very high valuation at the moment. Now let's do the valuation assessment, and this is basically the crux of this presentation. So currently the stock is trading at around 35, 37 times on FY22 numbers basis at around 8,700, 800. The bear case PE for me is around 22 times. That's the worst it can go to. And we saw this in the 2016 mega fall. We saw the similar valuations in March 2020 when the stock market fell. The stock fell below 5,000, I guess, at that point of time. So it was trading at around 20-22 times earnings, but it has recovered very quickly. So if we say that the market again falls in 2021, anytime in this year, a Bajaj finserve may trade at around 26-27 times. That is the best I could look at the fall. I cannot say that the stock would trade at 22 times again. So let's say 26 times. At that point of time, I would say that the stock would trade at around 7,000, 7,300. If we take 28 times, we'll say that the target would be, with an EPS estimate of 260 rupees, I'm looking at 7,800. Currently, the stock is at around 8,700 or so. So, any sort of 10 to 12% decline, 10-15% decline from the current levels, or even at current levels, these are very good buying opportunities. I think around 7,000 would be a huge around 7,800, 8,000 would be a huge buying opportunity. I think 7,000 to 7,500 is a strong support, and I won't be surprised that in a couple of years time, when things normalize and everything is good, this could even double. So this could go to 15 and a half to 16,000 in this period, probably in by 2023 December, so around 2.5 years or so. If you look at the technicals of the stock, then there is strong support around the 7,000 levels, as I explained. Currently, the stock is at 8,800, 8,700. Wait for it to decline closer to that 8,000, 8,100 range. Those will be the levels to really get into the stock and buy in bulk. I think 7,000, 7,300 would be supported, and I don't see it going below 7,000. Even if the market goes to 12,000, 11,500 nifty, unless we see the similar fall as we saw earlier, unless we see a similar fall as we saw in March, I don't see the stock break 7,500 to 7,000 levels easily. And that's why you need to get in early, because you never know where the stock may turn around. Even from these levels, if somebody is interested into buying into finance companies, this is a top class company, you can start accumulating and buy big around 8,000 to 7,800 levels. Remember, it has already run up 80% from the lows of March 2020. So there is a thing that the market as well as these stocks may correct. So a 10 to 15% correction even from these levels is not out of realms. 8,800 is the current level, so 15% from here would be 7,600. So that's why buying around 8,100 is not bad. Even if the stock falls to around 7,600, you'll be down only 5-6% on the stock. So we can see a correction of 10 to 15% on the stock, and that will be a buying opportunity. A major breakout is expected over 9,800. So that looks like happening probably after a correction that will take place. You can buy even at these levels, and probably accumulate more on decent declines. So what needs to be done? Buy close to 8,000. That's the best case scenario. It is a market leader. Look for massive falls to accumulate. So the fall that we have seen in the last 2-3 days is also a good opportunity to buy a few shares. Hard to trade such stock. Do not trade into such stocks. Probably buy for 2 to 3 years and you'll make money, because no one knows when the tide turns. No one knows how far the fall may also happen, and then the reversal, from where the reversal would take place. So all these things taken into consideration, probably buy as an investment for 2, 3, 4 years and you will make good money. It is a top long-term bet. So this is my video on the valuations of Bajaj Finserve. Please like and subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon so you can get my video straight away when I post it, and support me on Patreon. Thanks a lot for watching.